equal justice under the law. Those are the words that are carved into the facade of the Washington, D.C. Supreme Court building. But, even though these words convey the philosophy of our founding fathers, the interpretation of the word, equal, has changed since Thomas Jefferson first wrote those famous words.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Let's go back in time. Back to a Supreme Court ruling in 1857, when African Americans, whether they were slaves or free men, were not considered citizens of the United States, and were not afforded the rights of citizenship. Back when the Supreme Court justices were all men, and the highest court in the land was led by Chief Justice Roger Taney, the landmark case of Dred Scott v. Sanford aroused such public outrage and tensions between the northern and southern U.S. states, because it flatly stated that people of African descent have no rights which the white man was bound to respect. The Dred Scott decision was a major event on the road to the Civil War. In fact, the decision so inflamed public opinion in the North that it led to a surge in popularity for the new anti-slavery Republican Party, and the Civil War recruiting efforts began. During the Civil War, on January 1, 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which proclaimed that all slaves in Confederate territory would be forever free, and, although the freeing of the slaves did nothing to reverse the Dred Scott decision, it was the precursor to the passage of the 13th Amendment, which outlaws slavery. About 4 years after the adoption of the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment was passed. The Citizenship Clause of the 14th Amendment overruled the Dred Scott decision. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Abraham Lincoln never got to see the adoption of the 13th or 14th Amendments, and the end of Dred Scott. But if he'd seen it, he probably would have done the dance.